Breaking news here to Fantasy Football Today, CBS Sports HQ. Jets coach Robert Saleh saying that Zach Wilson's back. He's going to start for the Jets this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been out for the first 3 games this season with that knee injury sustained in the preseason. Joe Flacco was the starter, has the Jets off to a 1-2 start. But now the future of the team is back for the present, as Zach Wilson will be back for week 4 to take on the Steelers. Welcome to the show. I'm Jamie Eisenberg. That's Pete Prisco. That's Heath Cummings. Pete, we knew this was coming, that Zach Wilson will be back as the starter. How is he going to do? I mean, we know he's not probably at 100%, but close enough to be able to play. Joe Flacco's done some nice things. He's thrown the ball a lot, averaging over 50 pass attempts per game. How do you think Wilson will do for the Jets now?
Well, look, whether he's good or bad, that's not the issue. He needs to play. And, I mean, ideally, you'd like him to play good football, and I think he'll be okay. But he's a guy that needs to be on the field. This is their future. And for him missing games, it's never a good thing. Look, will he be better than Joe Flacco? Probably. Will he be significantly better than Joe Flacco? Probably not.
What were your expectations for him coming into the season?
Well, I thought he did a lot of good things at the tail end of last year. It looked like he was starting to believe in himself and make plays and stay in the pocket and make plays and even get outside and make plays. So I was encouraged by what he did at the end of last season. But I think this is one of those situations where it's probably going to start a little slow. It's a tough game, Pittsburgh, although no T.J. Watt helps them a great
And
deal.
Minka Fitzpatrick might not be there, too.
Yeah, but it's still a tough game. And I just think that he needs to be on the field. They need to find out what they have in Zach Wilson. Playing Joe Flacco does nothing for them.
Heath, in terms of Wilson as a fantasy quarterback, this is not a bad matchup. Again, looking at what the Steelers have been the last couple of weeks without T.J. Watt on the field, and now again, Fitzpatrick, we don't know his status. Any interest in starting him in Superflex or 2-quarterback leagues?
It's dangerous, but there is a little bit of upside. You said the matchup's not bad. His last 5 games last year, he averaged 32 yards rushing, had 4 rushing touchdowns in his last 7 games. I'm cautiously optimistic. We generally expect rookie quarterbacks to be bad. We generally expect them to be better in their second year, and he's surrounded by extremely talented weapons.
So talk about the weapons there, because a lot of fantasy managers are looking at Breece Hall and Michael Carter and Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. And for what it's worth, Conklin has become a top 5 tight end. Right. So do these guys benefit with Wilson, or do they get pushed down a little bit?
I think they all have a little bit of regression no matter who plays quarterback, because they're not going to throw the ball 52 times a game no matter who's playing. But I would expect this is bad for Breece Hall and Michael Carter to a certain extent. Better for Elijah Moore because there will be more wide receiver targets. The really interesting one is Conklin. Right now he's second on the team in targets. If those wide receivers just take some of the running back targets and Conklin's target share remains the same, he's probably a top 10 tight end all year long.
How do you feel about the skill players here, Pete, with the quarterback change?
I think it's going to, like he said, I think it's going to help the outside guys. And look, Conklin, I told you I was a big believer in Conklin. That does not surprise me at all. And people I talked to in Minnesota were a little upset, some of them, that they let him get out the door. I know they have Irv Smith, but that's a good second tight end to have on your roster, and he's becoming a good number 1 tight end as well.
Can the Jets win this game?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, absolutely. The Steelers, no one should be scared of the Steelers.
No, you shouldn't be scared of them, but I just think that at some point the Steelers are going to start playing better offense too. It's easy to just say, okay, they got weapons outside too that aren't getting the ball either.
It's like, who has the better quarterback?
I would hope the Jets do for their sake.
Yeah, me too.
Who has a better offensive line?
But the best one might be sitting on the bench. We just don't know what Kenny Pickett can do when he eventually gets a chance to start. And a lot of people think that he might get a chance to play in this game if the Steelers get off to a slow start. All right, so there's the news for you here. CBS Sports HQ, Fantasy Football Today. Zach Wilson will start in Week 4 for the Jets against the Steelers. We're going to take a break right now, and when we come back and get into the...
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.